Mom. Dad. Juliet. Newell. Ooh. Hey everybody, and welcome back to PanCake Friday, another edition here. 3 weeks in a row since a safety hazard, so let's keep that going. Good job on us. Tap on the back to us. We got a lot on the docket today to talk about. We have our person of the week, which I'm looking forward to getting to. That's been a fun thing for me. I've got a few beefs to pick with some things like Apple AirPlay, sports betting, and don't get me started about keeping people alive for too long.
What?
We got a lot ahead, so keep tuned in.
What is the clap for?
I don't know.
Is that just dramatic effect?
It's supposed to be like the transition, like, chew, but it's a clap. It's like, and we're live now, as opposed to that pre-recorded stuff from right before. So, babe, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah, do you want to tell everyone about your week?
I had a traumatic experience.
Yeah, what happened? It was pretty traumatic as you laugh.
I went to the dentist. That was my traumatic experience.
Sorry, where's the remote?
I don't know.
So tell us about that.
So I went to the dentist, and I had a panic attack at the dentist. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, well, you're really selling this story short here. Like, come on here. Let's give us a story.
Okay. I had to go get some dental work. I have to get all of my wisdom teeth out. But the dentist said he would just do 2 at a time, like my right side and my left side. And I didn't realize that they weren't gonna put me to sleep for it. I thought that was just like standard, obviously, because I've never had them out before, because I still have them.
All 4, yeah.
So I thought that was just like standard practice. They put you to sleep for it. They don't. That's not like standard. You have to like ask for that or whatever.
Well, no, I don't. Why? Yeah, I don't know why that's not standard.
It should be standard. Anyway, so like 3 or 4 days before, I emailed the dentist and I was like, yo, can you put me out for this? And they were like, they don't have the capability to do that. They don't have like an anesthesiologist.
The dentist is so rich, they could easily do it if they wanted.
I feel like dentists also are just kind of a scam.
Yeah. They're a racket for sure.
Yeah, they just want to take all the money they can. And like even on the day, so I had to get fillings as well. So I got the fillings, and like I was already a bit like angsty about it. And after the fillings, he was like talking me through he's gonna take the teeth, and I'm like, yeah, I don't really want you to take the teeth. He was like, what? I was like, yeah, I don't really want you to pull my teeth out right now. And then he's like, okay, well, just let me get the top one, and then we'll see how that goes, and then maybe we can take your bottom one too. And I was like, I really didn't want to do it, but I was like, okay. Okay. So and then as he puts the more like the numbing injection like at the back as well, because he had to put more numbing in after the fillings. The numbing wasn't so bad. It's just like I've had like needles stuck in me all which ways, so I'm like, whatever.
I just find on the gums they're so sensitive that like they put that in, and that for me is my eyes every time. Just
no,
like
I didn't find that at all.
Oh.
But that's the thing for me. It's not like the pain isn't the issue. It's not like a fear of pain. It's like the cringiness of it being in my mouth.
Huh.
And I can't see it.
I can see the dentist being a problem with you.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what it is, because, you know, we're all very aware that I have some control issues going on, right?
So, yeah, whatever you say. Sure. Yeah, sure.
But when they're doing stuff up in my mouth, I can't see it. I don't know what they're doing. They're just like rooting around in my mouth, and they have these tools that sound like fucking chainsaws going on in there, and then the sound of like the bone like scraping, like the tooth bone scraping the jaw as it comes out. You can like, oh, it honestly makes me feel really sick just even like thinking about it. It was horrific. Anyway, I was like crying, shaking, hyperventilating, and it took him about like 2 seconds to take the top tooth out, and then I was like, "Yeah, you're not doing the second one."
When I pulled up after,
Yeah,
I did, because you're like, they're like, you come get it, and I was like, okay, and they made it that I could tell something was up, but I just kind of assumed you were loopy from the drugs.
yeah.
And then when I saw you and the way you were, I was like, oh no.
Oh
this
no.
is not just a little...
No, well, yeah, and they'd already given me Xanax too,
Yeah.
or Ativan, which is basically the same thing. To like, because I told them I was anxious, so they gave me Ativan, and that just did like absolutely nothing. I was just like freaked the fuck out.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of caught me off guard because I knew you were saying like you weren't there, but like I told you, like I've had so much dental work done that I'm just kind of like whatever, like, and I've had it for so long, like basically my whole life I've had to get like root canals and freaking cavities and molar replacements, all this shit. So I, like I said, the thing I always hate is when they put the needles into your soft palate back there and stuff. It always just, you feel it's like a pinch.
Yeah.
And it stings really quick like a bee sting, but every time it's not like I'm like, it's just my eyes just naturally start like watering.
Yeah.
But I actually think I'm a dentist dream. They'll just be like for like 3 hours, and I just have my mouth open and they're like, you good? I'm like, but yeah, I didn't realize like it even like caught me off guard when you were in the car after and you were all like rattled and shaken up.
Yeah, I was super rattled.
And I was kind of like, oh, okay. And it like, remember, and then I had to go to work. So I dropped you at home and then I called you like 2 minutes later. It's like, because I was still kind of processing. I didn't realize how much of a thing it was for you.
Well, I think as well, like I didn't think it was going to be that much of a big thing for me. But I guess you don't know until it's happening, right? Because I always grew up like I have like in general like pretty strong teeth. This is the first dental work I've ever
Okay, let's not brag about how strong our teeth are.
Okay. No, but I think that's the thing is like your teeth are, you have brittle teeth, right? Runs in your family.
No. I've got like the toughest teeth that
no,
you've ever seen.
You've broken like 3 of your teeth on Skittles.
Me and Kanye once on Skittles. Me and Kanye have titanium teeth.
Okay.
Kanye actually does, if anyone wants to look that up, it's ridiculous.
Anyway, back to what we were talking about. Not Kanye's teeth. My teeth are pretty strong, and so that's the first time I've ever had to have dental work, like ever. Like I'd never had a filling before. I'd never had like a cavity. I'd never had anything, so I didn't really like know how it was gonna go. I had braces, but that was different.
It's different, yeah. Braces
so different.
Is so different.
But yeah, and I can say I was definitely not a fan. They did get my top wisdom tooth out on my right side. It's a bit achy, but it was never about the pain. It was just like, it's like the cringiness and also the just like the association of being drugged up and have people like rooting around in your mouth.
Yeah,
it's not fun.
It's not. It is a weird thing, and also I just, like I was saying to you when it happened, I just always feel like it's a weird thing. Like they ask you questions, and they're in your mouth doing stuff, and you're kind of like, am I supposed to answer? Am I not? And like it's just weird. But I do think it's a racket. And just to give you an idea of what a racket is, it's a racketeer, someone who engages in dishonest or fraudulent business dealings, and I think dentistry is that. Well, and I'll tell you why. Because it's not just because it's. I just feel like the thing that's so stupid that makes it like dishonest business is the fact how you have, like, if your teeth are messed up, there's nothing you can do. Like, I'm not just talking about like, oh, what do you do? I mean, like, you're going to be in so much pain, you can't do anything. Like every single time I've had, I think 4 root canals. Every single time, like one of them, I had a cavity and it was on the inside of like between two teeth, so I couldn't see it, and I had gone to the dentist in so long, so it basically hollowed out the whole inside of my tooth, and then I bit down on a steak and it fractured in and pinched all the nerve, and for like 3 days I was in like the most severe pain. I couldn't work, I couldn't do anything until I got it out. And so it's just, I feel like dishonest to charge so much money for all this stuff when it's such a mandatory service, in my opinion.
Well, that's the thing. In England, it's part of like the MSP there. You get your dentist is on your NHS, but here, yeah. So that's part of it, but also like they're like I'd never even heard of going in for a cleaning. I don't think that's necessary at all. I just think that's another thing that they can charge you for. Like if you're brushing your teeth and like looking after your teeth well enough, I don't think you need to go get them cleaned every 6 months.
Yeah,
like I don't
know.
believe that.
It's really weird because I kind of stand by you, but you talk to my mom, she'll swear you need it. You talk to this one guy I work with today because his wife's got she's a nurse, so she has full benefits, so he gets like all his cleanings for free. And they like claim they're like, you have to have it, which I don't agree with, but it's interesting because I mean, would you get your teeth cleaned every 3 months by a dentist if it was free?
Probably no.
Yeah, I don't think I would.
No, I wouldn't.
Well, okay, since we're talking about any, oh sorry.
Wait, I hadn't finished.
Yes.
And another reason is I think that's why, because they said that they could refer me to an orthopedic surgeon, but they just wanted me to get my teeth out with them because then they would have got the money.
That makes sense.
But that was,
makes sense. Well, I'm wondering, because I was put out for my wisdom teeth, and I'm wondering if it has something to do with how much they're impacted. Because impacted means that they're like sideways going into the other teeth.
Yeah.
So you're like, it's like really gonna force your whole thing out. Yeah. So I'd imagine if that's the case, you probably do have to put the person under and pull them, as opposed to if they're coming in straight, or you can just freeze and pull. I don't know. I ain't no dentist.
I think most of it is probably just like personal preference too. Like if they were doing it while I was under, they could have done them all at once.
Yeah. Which would have been probably ideal.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is a good thing, talking about the what is it, NHS, the National Health Service?
Yeah, National Health Service
in England.
Yeah.
So, I just think that our healthcare system is fucked here. It's just absolutely garbage. It's like, it's mayhem now. Nothing gets done. Like, there's just so many people that have no fucking clue how to take care of themselves and when you should actually go to a doctor versus when you should drink some water or put a hot towel on your back. Like, because like this is what I constantly am hearing from the hospital nurses / the emergency care nurses down at Lower Lonsdale. There is, you obviously have people that need to be there, but you also have just a whack load of people that like demand services and they shouldn't be there. They've had a headache, they've been sent home because there's a whole bunch of people there and all their issues is a headache, and then they still come back because their headache didn't go away. And so I'm just kind of like, I feel like this is a obvious thing to say. I'm not speaking anything new here.
Yeah.
We have to flip our thinking from that of reactive to preventative. So the example I'll give right now is my deviated septum surgery. I wasn't by any means sitting there with a deviated septum where I literally couldn't breathe, right?
Yeah.
It was more, I had this issue, and then like we said, when I was going to get my surgery, our neighbor, who has a 71-year-old brother, finally gets the surgery. It changed my life.
Yeah.
And so it's this preventative thing so that I don't go 70 years with improper breathing, right? So in theory, this should have prevented me from having something later in life that's due to not having enough oxygen or whatever, right? I think we have to start flipping our healthcare system to that. And I think the way we have to do that is, this is going to sound so dumb, but we have to just start making aggressive ad campaigns for how to take care of yourself. Like, you know how we've been watching Amazon Prime and it keeps doing those smear campaigns on John Rustad?
Yeah. Every single ad.
So just so people that aren't aware, we're not watching TV or Amazon or whatever, whenever they have the commercials for shows, it's instantly back-to-back smear campaign of John Rustad,
Yeah.
the conservative candidate, but it's brought to you by the NDP.
Yeah.
And then the way our freaking government works, you're not allowed to smear someone without making it known that you're like
I think
saying
that's
that
every government.
it well, any good government,
Well, yeah,
right? I
any
don't think
westernized
I don't,
government,
yeah.
yeah.
And it just like dawned on me because I thought it was the dumbest ad. Like, it's such a waste of money, that ad. I'm like, I don't get the point of it. But while we were watching it over and over again, I was like, what they should do is you should have those ads and they're just constantly running in the background. And what are they? They're things like this. It's like, do you have a headache? If you have a headache, check for these symptoms. Do you have like elevated heart rate? How high is the your temperature? Like, just have this list of things, right? And then it's like, if you don't have this, or if you've done all this stuff, maybe you should go like contact your professional.
Isn't that what Google's for, though?
Yeah, but people are they're dumb. Like, they don't get it. You have to like literally have it sitting on the thing on something they're watching, and it just like enforce it. And then I was thinking of how could you get this to work? You charge the drug companies, and then it's brought to you by Pfizer or whatever. So it's like the drug companies get to do their commercials and all their garbage. But like, if they're going to be taking all this money from us via being drug companies, they should have to pay it back via preventative healthcare measures. It's basically all stuff, just simple stuff to get.
But why would a drug company promote preventative health care? Because then they would have no business.
No, they would have tons of business. You don't need drugs, don't like anything that's to do with health. Those drugs are going to be needed. The problem with it now, with the way the corporations work with drug companies, is their whole thing is about maximizing profit. So there's this kind of idea of keep people sick so we can keep giving them more and more drugs, right? But I think if you did this, first off, I don't think it's just going to instantly change the whole world. The whole bane of it would be to free up the hospitals from idiots that go in 3 times a week with headaches, or the people in the urgent care that are like, I cut my hand and I need you to put a Band-Aid on it. Like, it's just like general basic health care that you, before you go.
Yeah.
But why would you do it? It's basically like, why would the drug companies do it? Because it's what you have to do to sell your drugs in Canada and put your name out there and stuff. I don't know. It's just a thought.
I just think what they did in the UK was the best thing, which was give free education to anyone who's studying medicine. So anyone who's training to be a nurse, anyone who's training to be a doctor, dentist, pharmacist, anything like that, free education. So then you're literally giving incentive to have more medical staff. Because that's the problem right now. It's not, I mean, it is that people are ripping the system, and there's so much immigration that the hospitals can't keep up with it, and it's not just the hospitals, it's the whole infrastructure of the city. I've heard people talk about it with like schools as well.
Yeah, I heard apparently there's kids in I don't know if it's higher school or elementary school, but they're learning in the hallways.
Yeah, they like I was actually eavesdropping on this lady who is a teacher, and I can't remember which school she was for, but she was saying they had 60 new students throughout 1 year just from immigration, and they're having to build new classrooms and stuff. But that's the problem. It's like there's all this push for immigration, but the whole infrastructure of the city can't keep up with it. So it's really stupid, if you ask me.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was a good, because I just, I do agree with the idea of, you need more everything.
Yeah.
But I also think that there's still lack of resources within that. The issue is there's not enough nurses and doctors. It's that is part of it. But even within that, the ones that are working are we don't have the resources because of just the way things are. And I just think because they like I genuinely.
What do you mean by resources?
Just like I think like just everything. I think it's like they don't have enough beds, they don't have enough bedpans.
Well, yeah, but that would all be solved if you had more staff, right?
No, because if you have full staff and you got 100 rooms, let's just say, I don't know what they actually have, but then you have 1,000 people. Even if you have full staff, they're still only able to take so many people. And then even things like MRIs and CT scans and stuff, there's only so much that they can do.
But if you look at what I mean in terms of more staff is, you know how hard it is here to get a GP, family doctor, right? Because so many of those people that are going to the hospital can't get appointments with their GP for like a week.
Right.
Or can't even get a GP.
Well, yeah, I mean, I
think that's the issue though, is we need more family doctors to address stuff that can be addressed in a general practice, rather than these people, like you said, that have a cough and are going to the emergency room.
Yeah, well, that's true to a degree. Like, I'm not going to ever say that it's not like you don't need more doctors and nurses, but I'm just thinking of like other than saying that, like what things you can do.
Yeah.
Just because it's just kind of ridiculous at this point. Like, people don't know how to take care of themselves, and they're just, quite frankly, stupid. Like, even within what I do, the amount of people that just come to me and expect all their problems to be solved with a massage, and they literally do nothing to take care of themselves. And I'm talking like they just.
See, I disagree with you. I think Vancouver, especially North Vancouver, people look after themselves. Some of the best I've seen.
Sure,
out of everywhere.
Yeah, they do. I don't think they don't, but even within that, there's a lot of people that don't. You just don't probably see them because they're probably sitting inside all the time.
Probably sitting inside in their McDonald's.
Which this is kind of brings me to the point that I was saying at the start of the entire episode.
Yeah.
We keep people alive too long.
Yeah, we really do.
Okay, so listen to this. To get a CT scan of your body, it's going to cost you $6,000. It'll cost $6,000. To get an MRI, $4,000. Okay. So just right there, what ends up happening is you have these really old people, like someone that's like 92 years old, and they're like, their stomachs, like their organs are failing. We need a CT scan, or we need an MRI to find all this stuff out. And you do all these thousands of dollars of testing, and then you find out what's wrong with them. And like, even if you do something to save them, like, and we're not even talking really sick people here. We're just talking like old people with problems, right? And even if you do save them, it's like, what are you really saving them for? And I know that sounds harsh because you want, like, you don't want to like kill people. I'm not saying that. I just feel like we're fighting really hard to keep really old people alive, and it costs a lot of money to do that.
Yeah.
And maybe I think it was Blade Runner. Have you seen that show where like at a certain age a diamond starts blinking and they come to kill you? No, I think it was Blade Runner.
No.
But basically it's like, I think it's a really young age, but basically you're alive until you're a certain age, and then they get rid of you to keep the population.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting we kill everyone, but I feel like maybe there should be a thing that it's like, once you hit 80 years old, we're only gonna like maintain your pain. We're not gonna spend resources consistently keeping you alive for stuff.
I think that's a good idea, honestly. Like, I don't care to live that long. And I know this is a personal thing, but like, if I get aged and I am more of a burden on people than I am like a joy to be around, I'd rather just go.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather just like, see ya.
Right?
Bye.
and then like, again, like if you're like 85 years old and you're like haggard and you're always in pain, like, really, what are you keeping that a person alive for? Like, so they can sit and watch CNN and be pissed off at stuff? Like,
pissed off at the world.
Pissed at the world, and then be like, I gotta go vote, and then get all upset at youngins and shit. Like,
sounds lame to me.
Yeah, I don't know, because that just was really shocking to me, because someone was telling me about, they were just like talking about one of their clients, right? Or one of their patients, and what they were doing.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of...
Stop that.
Sorry. I just kind of was like, how much does all this stuff cost? And it's like very quickly you're like, well, no wonder the healthcare system has no money, because the second some old person needs a scan of something, it can cost you $6,000 in a second. And some of these people get like 3 or 4 scans. Like, I even know people that aren't old. They're just people that don't take care of their body at all. And then they're constantly coming in, and every couple of months they've got some new scan that's been paid for, and it's for like undescript low back pain that I can't figure out, and they've got like the system to work to pay for it, and the whole time I'm like, this is whack. You're just like taking pictures of stuff and spending money, and you're not actually like doing anything to actually heal yourself. And so that's why I feel like if you just have ads everywhere, like these stupid smear campaigns that just keep popping up, but it's all just basic healthcare education for yourself, that'll get through to people. I truly think that.
Maybe.
Or you brainwash them into it.
Let's just hypnotize everyone. Like en masse.
Why not?
Yeah.
I hate Apple AirPlay.
Is this going to be a complainy episode? I feel like this is going to be a complainy episode.
It is a complaining episode.
Okay.
I hate
Apple AirPlay.
Yeah, I don't like Apple
What's
AirPlay.
wrong with Apple AirPlay?
It's just, I find it's finicky.
Okay. Why?
Well, when we were at the bachelor party on the weekend, every single time that I would like try and put something on it, sometimes it would work, and then we'd leave and I'd come back and they'd be like, put something on, I'd do it again and it wouldn't show up, and then I'd have to restart my phone and it would work. And I'm like, what's up with that Apple AirPlay?
I think it's just your phone. Your phone's just always seems to have issues with everything.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's me, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe, probably.
If we're being totally honest, I do think I'm the problem. You're supposed to say something.
Moving on.
You're supposed to say something right now.
So here's a weird thing.
Yeah.
3 or 4 days in a row this week, I have noticed halfway through the day that my underwear is on backwards.
Huh. That is weird.
That's weird, right?
Does it matter? Like, is it different front to back?
Not like, it doesn't like, it hasn't, like, I'm not wearing G-strings, like, when this happens. It's not, like, super noticeable, but I'll just be, like, going to the washroom, and I see the label, and I'm like, what the fuck? And it happened, like, 3 days in a row. And I'm like, that's really, I don't know, it was just really, really bizarre to me.
I don't know what to say to that, yeah.
Yeah, but apparently it's unlucky if you see that your underwear is on the way, like, the wrong way, it's unlucky to turn it back the right way. So I've just been living...
Who said that?
I don't know, it's like an old wives' tale.
Is that a TikTok thing?
I don't know. Why? I don't think so.
It just feels like a weird thing, like... If you see your underwear is backwards, it's bad luck to turn it around.
No, it's just like any item of clothes.
Oh.
Like if you put your shirt on backwards, and then someone's like, "Hey, your shirt's on backwards," it's bad luck to turn it right ways.
So you just have to buckle down, and you're like, I know.
Yeah.
Damn straight.
But I just thought it was really weird that literally happened like 3 days in a row, and I'm like, how did I not put my underwear on like 3 days in a row? Yeah, maybe. Like, maybe I've just been tired. She has been waking up a bit more in the night, I think, the past few days, but that's probably because she's teething. But, I don't know. It's just really bizarre.
That's super weird. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah, so that's a fun thing that's happened for me this week.
Huh. That's weird. I mean, I don't know. Just, I would suggest break the curse and turn your underpants around if you notice.
Well, no, I started, like, taking extra precautions when I put them on in the morning now.
What are the
Am I even wearing underwear right? Yeah, and I am.
What are the extra precautions?
Well, just making sure they're not backwards. So the ass is on the ass part.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This week has been a weird one. I always find it's a weird week after the long weekend. It's shorter literal week, but it seems like time moves slow.
Yeah, the days get all mixed up. I agree.
Yeah, it's really weird.
But it was Thanksgiving.
Yeah. What'd you think of Thanksgiving? Oh, Actually, we got some real. I can't believe we just haven't been talking about this the whole episode. So for Thanksgiving, me and Neve turned it up a notch. And Neve made us burgers, turkey burgers.
Thanksgiving burgers.
Pardon, Thanksgiving burgers.
Thanks burgers.
Thanks burgers.
It's like Asperger's, but thanks burgers.
I first split second there thought of butt cheeks on a burger.
Butt cheeks on.
I know this.
Like the South Park episode.
What's that one?
When Cartman says he has Asperger's,
Oh, yeah.
but it's just Asperger's, and he just puts a bunch of burgers in his pants.
So yeah, Neve made a smashed turkey patty burger. Do you want to explain it or you want me to?
You explain it.
Yeah, it was super. So this is coming from the burger guy himself.
Yeah.
That's me, in case anyone's wondering. So she did smashed turkey patties. She used bacon fat while she was making the patties, just to kind of have everything's higher fat content, which helped a lot, by the way.
Yeah,
that did really help.
I think
they weren't as dry.
Yeah.
They weren't dry. And then once she smashed them, did you put cheese on it?
I put cheese on mine. You say you didn't want cheese.
Yeah, I didn't want it. So hers had, and then you had stuffing, cranberry, and gravy.
Cranberry, jelly, gravy, mayo,
bacon
on yours.
Yeah, I had bacon on mine, and you had brie on yours.
I had brie on mine.
Okay, so this is what I felt. I didn't realize this until this burger. This is crazy. This is like this is how hard this burger hit me
in the heart.
So first off, turkey, I've always felt ground turkey sucks the worst. I hate it.
Yeah, well, it's just super dry as soon as you cook it.
Yeah, you give me turkey meatballs and you get them right back in your face hard.
Throw. Like launched.
Whipped across the room. Like, as it sticks to the wall and falls off.
It wouldn't even stick because it's too dry. It would just bounce straight off.
It'd hit the wall.
It'd leave a dent in the wall.
It'd hit the wall, make this sound. So when Thanksgiving to me is you have some turkey with gravy on it, and then some stuffing and some what's it called, cranberry sauce or jelly.
Yeah.
And that bite. That is Thanksgiving. But the thing I don't like about Thanksgiving is I'm not a big fan of turkey at all, period.
Yeah.
Let alone all the other things of Thanksgiving outside of really yam and what's it called, in the stuffing. But when you put it in the burger, you get that bite I just described in the burger. And then by the time you're done it, you're like, okay, I'm full, I don't need anymore. But you still get that vibe of the Thanksgiving feast, which is awesome.
And then you don't have to eat turkey sandwiches for like 5 days after.
Exactly.
Because it's just the right amount. And like we all had, like Juliet had turkey burg, Nuo had a turkey burg, just a patty.
Yeah, he did.
And I'm like, that's perfect. Just one pack of ground turkey, buns, stuffing,
that was so good.
jelly.
And the nice thing about it is, since it's the stovetop stuffing, stuffing. The stovetop stuffing is so good for how easy it is. Yeah. You just add water basically, right?
Yeah.
And then
water and a bit of butter. And
it's good to
gravy,
go. Yeah, that was incredible. That was such a fun Thanksgiving. Like, we didn't do anything.
No, we did
nothing.
It was
a nice, just like family hang dangle.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with those burgers, to be honest. I didn't know how they were gonna turn out with them being all turkeyed and stuff, but I was pretty impressed.
Yeah, I was as well.
I'm pretty proud of myself.
Yeah, and then it was just a kind of, honestly, I've always not been the biggest fan of Thanksgiving as a thing.
Stop that.
What? Relax.
No, it's really irritating me.
I've never been the biggest fan of Thanksgiving, so to have one where we just didn't do Thanksgiving really and just had that was like sweet. Like,
yeah, no, it was nice and chill, and I can't remember what else we did. We watched Raw. Raw was on.
Raw. Didn't we watch a show? But I fell asleep for it. I do remember.
Oh, we watched a movie and you fell asleep.
Yeah.
Was it a movie or a show?
It was a movie.
Oh, it was a really good movie, actually. Yeah.
What was it?
It it ends with us, or this is the
is
end,
it
or
it's the one where they all swap brains, right?
yeah, new one on Netflix. It was really, really good. Derek fell asleep and didn't know what happened, but it was really good.
Yeah, I'd say like to be fair, if I had to rate my sleep during that movie, it was a 7. So that gives you a good idea of how good the movie was. If you're trying to sleep, it's a 7.
I mean, the thing is, there's one, you just come back off a bachelor party.
Yeah.
So
There's
that, and also our sofa is just super comfy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, since we've had a baby, I'm just always tired. And
yeah, that's just kind of parent life.
Yeah, it's just what it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, by the way, I just want to apologize formally to Joey, our number one listener. Well, we were at soccer, 7-a-side yesterday, and we were walking and talking, and Joey was standing right next to me. Mm-hmm. But as we were doing, I was walking, looking at Johnny, and then as I was about to say Joey, I was staring at John, so I said John instead of Joey.
Wow.
And Joey got so offended, and I got so upset because I clearly offended our number one fan.
I can confirm he came home and punched himself 5 times.
Thank you for confirming that. So yeah,
in the kneecap.
Joey, we hope you've listened to us for 35 minutes to get to this point where we apologize. I apologize.
Yeah, I'm not apologizing.
Neve wouldn't apologize either.
I'll call you John.
Oh, wow.
Johnny, John. John, Joey, John.
How would you feel about doing our person of the week?
Yeah, sure.
Do you want to go first, or shall
Nope.
All right. Well, last week my person of the week was Steve Batista.
Yeah.
And yours was Lewis.
Which Lewis?
I can't remember. It was... We'll just go with Lewis.
Okay.
Yeah, that Lewis.
Okay.
The one we all know. So my person of the week this week is Dylan Wild. Dylan Wild is, I've known him since grade 8, like formally. We played sports against each other growing up. But Dylan's always been a really just cool cat. He's interesting. Like, he's always just done him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like basically tatted from like his neck to his wrist to his ankles. Mm-hmm. And he's got some wicked ass tattoos. It's genuinely like an art piece looking at Dylan. And I've always just thought, Dylan, what I think is super cool about you, dude, is you go and do whatever you want to do, and you just kind of go full on into it and just love doing your thing. And you're such a good friend to me. I always have a good laugh with Dylan, which is probably like one of our main things, is like no matter what, we actually were able to chat and have like serious conversations with each other, which is fun, but then always laugh about just dumb shit, which is always good to have with a friend. So Dylan, I hope you're doing well, and just want to let you know we love you and are thinking of you. You're Derek's person of the week. Congratulations.
Person of the week.
Choo 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 choo.
Choo 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 choo. Okay, my person of the week is gonna be Xiaohua. Xiaohua. And she's my person of the week because I just love Sarah. We had like a gals Thanksgiving on Saturday and I was just like, I just love this chick. She's such a little wifey. And she's soon to be an actual wifey. But even like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like, she's like the wife of your friends. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, whenever I go around, she's always, like, just so welcoming and, like, oh, do you need this? And such a sweetheart. And she's probably the person I'm closest to, probably apart from you in Canada.
Okay. You say
and it's really funny because you just have this relationship with, like, your partner's friends' partners.
Yeah.
And we've spent so much time together in the past kind of 4 or 5 years, and it's never a bad time. Like, we always have so much fun. like whatever we're doing, if we're hanging out with like, if we go to the movies, or if me and her will have a girls' night. We've been and got Liddy. She like,
Yes,
but then
you two
she's
have.
yes, we have. But then she's also just like such a good auntie to Juliet, and really sweet with her. And I'm really glad she's like in our lives, and in our daughter's life as well.
Yeah, we love you, Sarah.
Yeah, we love you lots.
And your mochi cake was amazing.
Oh yeah.
Wait, is there any left?
No, you ate it all.
The first night?
Yeah.
That
No, and
sucks.
also Sarah.
I swear I saved a piece.
No, Sarah picked a piece for. No, you ate it. For me, Juliet, and Derek ate all of it.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I had a
Juliet,
bite, and it was really good.
You didn't. You could have had one. You just didn't want one.
Yeah, okay,
And
fine.
I would have saved you one, but I'm definitely not saving one for Juliet.
Why?
She's a baby.
Yeah, she would have liked it.
No, babies don't like mochi cake.
Mochi cake.
It's bad for their soul.
Well, it was really good mochi cake.
Well, those are our persons of the week.
Yeah.
We love you both and hope you have a great weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or week. No, because you get it for the week. So I hope you have the best week this week. And then after that, I hope you return to your normal
fuck you.
lives. Did you have anything y'all want to talk about right down y'all here?
Let me have a look in my pot. I had
Take a
the
gander on down there at your
the underwear
device, y'all
one.
here.
The underwear one. Oh, and dentist. No, I don't have anything else. Dentist trauma and the backwards underwear phenomenon. Those were my 2 points this week.
Okay.
That I had to talk about. You haven't talked about the bachelor party at all, though.
Well, I
Wow.
was waiting until y'all
Wow.
would call. I want to have a lot more southern drawl.
Okay, can you just not talk about that? That is so bad.
I got to practice though.
For what?
Well, just for life. If you want to have a southern drawl. Is that it? Droll?
I literally, I can't even understand what you're saying right now.
If you want southern drawl.
Can you just talk like a normal person?
Well, I do declare, Mr. Hamilton, those boots will be ready by 6:30 p.m.
You sound like a gay cowboy.
Isn't that what a southerner is?
When you do it, yeah.
So you want me to talk about the bachelor party?
I'm just saying you haven't talked about it.
Yeah, it was good. Everything went well. It took us a long time to get up there, but it's because we were just kind of stopping, taking our time.
Yeah.
We went to get randomly. Hope has this restaurant in it that's super famous for their pies.
Really?
Yeah, I had no clue, so we stopped there, and we were supposed to just go get a pie and leave.
Yeah.
And then we ended up being there like, okay, well, let's stay for pie, because they were like, they're so famous for pies, you can't show up and buy a pie. You have to order one in advance, or else you're just showing up and getting it by the piece. And we were like, part of the thing was like Dax loves apple pie, so we wanted to like, get him pie and all that. So we
say pie again.
Pie.
Okay.
Pie. And it ended up taking like an hour, I want to say hour and a half to get it, just because it just was so busy, and it's a small diner in Hope. And I personally, the pie, they had a ton of them and they looked really good.
Yeah.
Pie. But it was underwhelming.
What flavor pie did you get?
Peach raspberry. It was just.
Did they have cherry?
Yeah.
You should have got cherry.
Everyone there hated cherry pie.
What?
They were all like, it sucks. I said, I like it.
Cherry pie is the best. The cherry pie is the only acceptable pie in my eye.
What?
Pie in my eye. That was funny.
She's
I don't
cherry pie.
I don't like any other type of pie.
Apple pie.
Like apple pie is like okay, but I would never choose to have apple pie.
Coconut cream pie.
Meh.
Banana cream pie.
Meh.
Peach cobbler
Meh.
pie.
Meh.
What about?
I'm not a pie girl.
What about
Cherry pie or
strawberry
banoffee
rhubarb?
pie?
Banoffee pie?
Yeah.
That just seems like that's diabetes.
You've had my banoffee pie.
Have I?
Yeah. I made banoffee pie the first time I met your parents, we went up to the cabin and I took banoffee pie.
Yeah, right. Okay, banoffee pie is pretty freaking good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not against pies. I like all pies, so it's not hard to convince me.
Like this pie.
Yeah. Wait,
my parents listen to it.
Yeah, I like the banoffee pies you make.
Thanks.
Yeah, so we went and did that, and it was fun. But the pie was underwhelming. Mainly the crust, I felt like just was bland and had no flavor.
That's like the most important part of the pie.
Yeah, like I also just want to say I hate cake. I love pie, but I hate cake.
Yeah, I'm not a cakey.
Like, to me, the
girl.
funnest way to have a cake is you punt it.
If is you don't eat it.
Like, someone's like, here's a cake, and then you punt it off the balcony, and they're like, why'd you do that? And you're like, haha, that was awesome.
I knew this couple that they didn't like cake, and on their wedding day, instead of having a cake, they had like a cheese tower.
That was Jamie and Kristen.
That wasn't the one that I was thinking about. But yeah, I know it's a thing, but
yeah, it's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that. The cheese tower.
The cheese tower.
There was a point where I was just sitting there, people were dancing, and I was just sitting alone, chopping off cheese, like shaving it off a minute.
Were you actually? Yeah. I can totally see you doing that as well. Just the loser in the corner. I like this cheese tower.
Actually, usually the coolest person at the dance hangs out alone at the cheese
the cheese pie.
The cheese bar.
The cheese bar.
You're like, yeah, all the girls are always like, oh, he's so mysterious. We better leave him alone and not go near him.
The reason they're leaving you alone is because you stink of cheese. Yeah, they call you Stinky Cheese Boy.
Like, yeah, play it cool, mysterious. That's why they're not coming by.
Yeah,
hey, Cindy, want to dance? No, I didn't. No, I didn't want to either.
No, I just have another slice of brie. I'm just gonna
go have some. Yeah, I'll have a slice of brie and hang out.
Yeah, so pie.
Okay, so we did that, and then we were just trekking up. It was good. We switched over at Merritt, and then once we got there, Paul's place was really nice. He had a little puppy, but it was deaf, and they didn't know when they got it, and it was like 2 weeks. They've had it for 2 weeks, and it was super cute, actually.
Yeah.
And then we just did like games and stuff. If you know Rage Cage, that game.
Oh God, yeah.
We played so much Rage Cage, and I freaking okay. I just got sewered so hard because Gabe wasn't drinking because he can't. So I'm not dissing up Gabe. He literally just can't. But I didn't want, like, the whole, just for people that don't know, Rage Cage is, there's a whole bunch of cups in the middle, and you're just basically like bouncing into cups and stacking cups.
Yeah, it's like extreme flip cup.
But Gabe can't drink, so I was like, and you have to, like, if you lose, you take a cup and from the middle and drink it. So because of that, I was like, okay, I'll drink for Gabe. Mm-hmm. And then they, of course, targeted me and Gabe in the corner. So it was like Gabe, who sucks at the game, and me, and anytime I would get dinged, then Gabe would always get dinged and I have to drink. So I was just getting like...
You know what you should do because Gabe doesn't drink, you should make him take like pure shots of THC oil. Every time that there's like he's meant to be drinking, he just does like something. No, like weed drinks, like shots of weed drinks.
That would be pretty fun.
But like extra concentrated. Yeah. He would just be on another planet by the end of the
night. So we did that all night one, and Nick had these like challenges laid out for Dex, so he did all those, and they were just stupid, ridiculous things. Then we went golfing at Predator Ridge, which is like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like we show up there, you drive in, and it's like some golf courses always take up quite a bit of land, right? Mm-hmm. But like the way they are is they're kind of like stacked, so you'll like go out and then the next hole comes back the other way, so you're kind of like using up all of the land in your space, right? Pardon?
Zigzaggies?
Yeah, like just picture like the course is like they're using up as much space in the area,
yeah, I get it.
Right? Whereas this course, like, it just seemed to go on forever. So before you even got to where the actual like clubhouse is, which is basically like a giant chalet. It's not like you're just driving past like mansions on this beautiful, not only golf course, but just like setting.
Yeah.
And then you get there and you pull up to this like chalet looking resort, and there's a only place to park is valet parking. Like you just get there and it's free. They just take your car and park it for you, and you're like, what
Damn.
the hell?
That's fancy.
So we did that, and that was just super fun. And then we went back and just kept drinking and partying and ate food. It was really fun. Paul, the guy that let us stay at his place, he was super kind to let us. Like it saved us so much money.
Yeah.
We didn't have to do that, and we just partied. And then on the final day, when we were leaving, we helped Paul out do some landscaping and moved rocks. It was pretty fun. It took like an hour and a half for 8 of us to move rocks. Yeah.
I like moving rocks.
Yeah, me too. That's how we got into it. Paul had said something about rocks, and I was like, "Is there heavy things you need lifted and moved? Because I'm really good at that."
I like that. I like move rock.
I lift big things with hands and feet. Yeah, and then we came home, saw you guys. I think Dax had a good time.
Yeah, I think so. It was just it was all of his favorite people and doing stuff that he wanted to do. So
yeah, the only disappointments was the Canucks game was on the Friday, and we were sitting chilling watching it in between like Rage Cage and stuff. And then the reason that I brought up the whole Apple AirPlay, why it sucked, was because it just kept dropping out. Like I don't know why. Like we couldn't by the end we couldn't watch the third period of the game. So that was a little disappointing, just in the sense of like it didn't matter. Like we did have a good time overall, of course. And then the other thing was the UFC, the card before, and then the card this weekend are both like crazy.
Yeah.
And then that was a UFC fight night with no names.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but whatever. Yeah, it was fun though.
Nice.
Okay, so this is a thing that I was gonna bring up with you: sports betting. I think sports betting is the craziest thing. Like, okay, gambling's so addictive, right? Like we all know that. And first off, I don't like gambling, period. It's just not a thing for me. I'm just not really interested in it. But what I could see over the weekend was like a lot of the boys, like not just there, but everyone I know, they sports gamble now. And it makes it weird because now you can't watch the game. Like I get the excitement out of the game from watching the game.
Yeah.
Now the excitement out of the game is you're betting on things to happen. So when there's nothing to bet, when you're not betting, the game's just inevitably not as exciting because there's just like less to it, right? And then I don't know, it's just weird to me that it's like the way it's portrayed. Like if you pay attention now, every single sport you watch, there's tons of stuff about overs, unders, and sports betting, and then the stadiums are lined with it. And I just find it a really interesting thing because gambling is like an addiction.
Yeah.
And then it's so pushed into the forefront. And it actually, if you think gambling's bad in general, like going to the casino, sports betting, like I guarantee you people are losing their entire lives to it because you can just sit there on your phone and do
massively.
it.
Yeah. But it's also kind of like the lottery. The lottery is also gambling.
Yeah, I mean, true, but I think sports betting compared to the lotto, like, of course, anyone can go over the top.
Yeah.
I just think sports betting is a lot more dangerous and easier to get, like,
on. I got tickets for the Canucks 50-50 on the home opener.
And?
Obviously, I didn't win.
I
would have just kept it from you.
No, just chill. You're like, the right time's now.
The right time is now. Yeah, I won 250K. That's what the prize was.
Euros?
No.
Oh.
Canadian.
Okay, that's not bad.
Canadian.
Euros,
no.
But we'll take it.
I was not even close. It was quite sad, actually. I cried.
Yeah, I mean, my suggestion for the 50-50 is you got to work harder at it.
Yeah.
You just got you have to have more passion when you buy the tickets.
Passion. More passion, more energy. Yeah, no, didn't win. Sad times.
So what do you think? Okay, I've just introduced Neve to Big Brother over the past couple month or so here.
Yeah.
Good show.
Very good show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very enjoy.
Yeah, very
much
so.
Enjoy. Very.
Yeah, I'd recommend to anyone that's looking for something new to watch, if you haven't watched Big Brother, it's such a fun show.
Yeah.
It's literally, so it started out as the main thing was you could watch the live streams, But it wasn't just you could watch the live streams. It was also this idea of there's 18 cameras in the house.
Yeah.
And you can see like through like the whole show was like this game show is like literally you win the HOH, which gives you the ability.
I think people know what Big Brother is.
I'm just going to say for people that don't. And if you win HOH, you can nominate 2 people. Then there's the veto, and you play in a game. And if you win, you can bring yourself or someone down off the block. And then the HOH will have to renominate. And then there's an eviction of all the house guests get to vote people out. But the whole thing was you could watch everything happen live. And I don't know, I just think it's a super great social game in terms of like, there is like, you have to be physically fit for some stuff that'll help, I guess maybe, but it's really not at all about that unless it is. I don't know, it's super cool.
Yeah, sorry, I just yawned and it hurt my jaw.
Oh, that's so good.
Ouchie. But yeah, I really enjoy Big Brother, and I think you should go on Big Brother.
I would if it was still in Canada.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like this is Big Brother America. So Big Brother America grand prize $750K.
Mm-hmm.
America's voted favorite person gets $50K.
Mm-hmm.
Runner up gets $75K.
Mm-hmm.
Big Brother Canada total cash prize of $100,000. But if you win it, you get taxed on and somehow owe the government like $20K. That's like the grand prize.
Yeah, and it's also in Canadian.
Yeah, you're like, we won.
Ruthless.
And they're like, joke's on you. You actually owe the
government. No. Yeah, it'd not be fun to see your tax rebate that year.
Yeah, I so badly wanted to go. I wish I had applied, and I think I could have got on. I would have just had to typecast myself.
Is what?
I think I would say I'm a refugee from a country that doesn't exist anymore. And Canada is my new home because it's the only place that accept me after I've traveled around and been rejected from basically every country that's got a liberal or like with a democracy. and it's always been my dream to come to a country and win Big Brother Canada. I think that's what I'd go with.
How would you even sell that as your story? You're like the whitest Canadian ever.
Whoa. Okay.
It's true.
Well, I guess I could go with Sports Dad. Like, hey,
Sports Dad, yeah, you could do Sports Dad.
And I'd wear my hat backwards the whole thing and be like, whoosh,
do finger guns? Yeah.
No, I wouldn't do guns. I'd just do like, I guess that is. Yeah, I do
finger guns. Yeah, and you'd have to call everyone Champ.
Champ or Bucko.
Yeah, Bucko.
Hey, Champ. Bucko, keep it up.
Champ. Yeah. Bucko Champ. Champ Bucko.
Yeah, that's just a shame to me because I think that was my chance to become like super famous and rich and we could have everything.
Well, I mean, it's Big Brother.
No.
Let's not pretend that people on Big Brother are the most famous.
The fame from getting out third week is enough to propel me on to like superstardom.
With what talent?
Well, you know how there's Triple Threat? I'm like they don't say
I'm a
no they say
threat.
Derek's multi-dimensional.
Multi-dimensional.
Yeah.
You have length and height.
He has length and height and width. But no longitude.
Longitude and latitude.
He has no latitude.
And port and starboard.
Yeah, I mean, on that, I think we should talk. Do you want to do our buy and sells of the week?
Sure. Have you made any?
No, I
You're
haven't.
really lacking in the buy and sell.
Why don't you make some then, if we're going to make comments?
Okay.
Last week, my buy was baby's first birthday, and yours was shrimp rings.
Oh, I do love shrimp rings. I got more shrimp today, but it's not in ring form.
So is it even good?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I haven't tried it yet, but the Costco shrimp is good. They're like the big fat ones.
Okay, I like those ones more.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make some more mayo sauce. For
I know what my buy of the week is.
Okay, what's your buy?
My buy of the week is the frozen breakfast burritos you got from Costco. Those things are so good.
Just a side note, I'm bitter about this because when Derek was off work with his nose surgery, I was so very thoughtful and kind and pre-made. It took a whole afternoon of cooking up.
How long is an afternoon?
I don't know, it took me a couple hours. And I pre-made frozen breakfast burritos for him. And he ate one of them. And I made like 6 and I ate the other 5 because Derek wasn't eating them.
Okay, well.
And then when we go to Costco, he's like, oh, can you get me those frozen breakfast burritos? And I'm like, dude, I literally like handmade better versions of these
I'm
for you.
addicted to highly processed frozen freezer food.
Yeah, well.
Like, if you showed me a vegetable patch, a garden, as far as the eye could see of all the freshest vegetables, and then some frozen peas at the bottom of the freezer, I'll go for the peas every time.
Douche.
Well, no, okay, but actually to that, I didn't, like, this is actually a problem I have, okay? I literally don't have, like, unless, even when I buy stuff, I forget about it.
You have object permanency.
What's that mean?
If you can't see it, it doesn't exist.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I also have, like, very specific things I get to eat, and if I don't, I just, like, forget about it. Like, it has to, if I had, I don't know how to explain it, to be honest with you, but.
No, but I have noticed before.
Flavor of the burritos.
You'll be like, "Do we have this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's in the cupboard." But if it's not out, then you don't know it's there.
This makes total sense to me.
Yeah, obviously.
So what's your buy of the week?
My
object permanency.
What was object permanency?
That's what yours is.
No. What was my buy last week?
It was the shrimp rings.
Oh yeah, shrimp rings. By this week, we actually had a really cute little girls' weekend. Me, Juliet, and Neve.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, we went to the park and did that. So I'm gonna say girl time was my buy of this week.
Nice.
Not because it didn't include you, just because it was cute.
That's a good one.
Yeah, we had a cute little park day and that was really nice. And I got there's a really cute video of me and I'm like walking with Juliet and Nua is like literally like one step behind us keeping lookout like a little guard dog.
Cute video.
So that was really cute.
All right, and then your sell of the week was Walmart shopping carts.
Yeah, fuck Walmart shopping carts.
And mine was shit timing, which I can't remember what it was, but I'm gonna pretend it's shit timing, like timing your poops wrong. That's what JJ did.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Sells are hard because genuinely I have like 500 things I could sell on at any given moment.
Well, my sell this week is the dentist. The evil tooth napper.
The tooth. I hear that dentists put all the teeth under their bed and sleep on them.
I wonder what they did with the tooth. I should have asked for it. I could have made it into a necklace for you.
I wouldn't have wanted that. Just gonna be honest on that.
Wow. Wow. I thought you loved me, but you don't want to wear my tooth around your neck. I see how it is.
I wish people could see my face right now. I'm for sure shaking my head at you. What is my sell of the week? I'm just gonna say my sell of the week is the city of North Vancouver's shitty infrastructure layout and traffic everywhere. And
I feel like that's a cop out. I've definitely already done North Vancouver infrastructure as a sell.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess
you can't have that.
I'm not
sorry.
allowed to be mad at that. So now whenever I go into traffic, I have to be like, "Oh, this is awesome. I love this." Oh yeah, actually, I got to sell the week. The neighbors' lack of
urgency losing their dog.
So me and Neve, was this last Friday or what day was it?
No, I think it was Sunday.
So Sunday night,
yeah.
Me and Neve are just sitting on the couch, and it's like later. It's like 11 or something, right?
Yeah, it's pretty late.
This is what I was passed out watching that movie with.
Yeah, it was.
So
yeah.
I'm passed out on the couch, and Neve's watching this movie. And I kind of get woken because Neve stood up to listen out the window, but I could hear them yelling,
yeah.
Sadie.
Yeah.
Sadie. And we were kind of like, okay. And then eventually we go outside to look, and it's our neighbor, and they're older.
Yeah.
And they're like, he's like, yeah, our dog's missing. And then me and Eve are like, okay. And he calls a bit, and then we call. And we go back inside, and we're like, okay, we should probably go out and look.
Yeah.
And so we go out, we get ready, we like go walk the street looking.
We went into the forest and everything.
Yeah,
we had the baby monitor on, and we were actually like
we were out searching.
Yeah, searching.
And we had Nua with us. And then the guy just kind of walks with us, and we're like, hey. And he's like, hey. And we're like, so where's your dog? And he's like, I don't know. She just goes missing all the time. She'll turn up. And he just walked inside like it was no nonchalant. Like the dog was actually missing.
Yeah.
It's not like where we are. It's like there's tons of places that dog could just disappear to.
Yeah, and there's like coyotes,
the road, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And they just went away. And then the next day, the woman like sticks her head out the window and she's like, "Did you bring our dog back?" And I was like, "Well, we were looking, but we didn't bring it back." And she's like, "Oh, someone brought him into the house or the backyard at 3 a.m. And it was just the whole thing. You were there. Like the whole thing was just so like, I'm like,
bizarre. Yeah.
Oh no! If Nua went missing, I would just start burning people's houses down. I'd be like, "What'd you do with my dog?"
Yeah, I mean, it must really suck though to have a dog that bolts, because I've never experienced that. Like no dogs that I've ever owned have been like that. So that must really suck. But yeah, if Nua, if it was Nua that had disappeared, I would not be that chill.
Yeah, and the like, yeah, I don't know, the way their demeanor was weird.
Yeah, so it's a young dog as well though, because they had like an old lab when I first moved in here. He was a real old boy, and I think he died, and then they got a puppy and forgot how much work a puppy is.
Well, he died, and then they got a puppy, and then 6 months later she had knee surgery, followed by 6 months later another knee surgery. So it's just been like a rough go. Yeah. Anyhow, is there anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Okay. Well, in that case, I think we should walk it up there, y'all. Here.
Please stop doing accents.
Y'all tell me what you all think.
No one knows what accents you're trying to do or what you're saying.
Well, to all my fair listeners out there, this lad with the southern drawl.
You just sound gay.
Say, I do. I do. Wait, actually, I want to finish on this. Excuse me 1 second here. Here we go. Ready? I'm the only gay Eskimo.
Okay, bye.
I'm the only one I know. I'm the only gay Eskimo in my tribe.